Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, everybody. Thank you for giving the opportunity for us to share the Indonesian experience about the green financing. This is a great honor for us. My presentation today is about the Green Sukuk for sustainable development in Indonesia. For the first slide, I think actually this has been discussed yesterday, mentioning about Indonesia's strong commitment to reduce the greenhouse gas emission by 2030. We commit to reduce the emission up to 29% without the international support or business as usual. However, if we can get the international support, we commit that we can reduce the emission up to 41% by 2030. And we also acknowledge that there are still a huge financial gap between the funding needs to achieve the target and the available budget from government. So looking at to the issue of the financial gap between the funding needs and the available budget, Indonesia is not only using the revenue for financing the green activity, but also we issue what's so called as a green bond. Green bond in Indonesia is part of Sharia compliant bonds. Actually, we issue two kind of bonds: conventional bonds, non-Sharia, and the other is the Sharia compliant bonds. For the green bond, it is more popular, called as Green Sukuk in Indonesia. Green Sukuk is the proceed 100% will exclusively go to finance or refinance what's so called as green project. I think this slide as a milestone, we firstly published the first Green Sukuk in 2018, and it confirmed back that year, confirmed Indonesia as the first sovereign green sukuk in 2018. And afterwards, we consistently issuing green sukuk every year, internationally and domestically. In the international market, up to today, we have successfully issued up to $5 million US. And in domestic market, we start issuing the green sukuk since 2019. And now the amount of green sukuk in domestic market has reached the amount of 820 million, much more than the international market. And of course, we are proud to state here that Green Sukuk Indonesia got many awards from international institution. And for this slide, actually, this is the information, the detailed information of the milestone of global and domestic green sukuk issuance. While we can see that in the international market, we start from 2018, and in the domestic market, we start from 2019. We also note some achievement here, both global and domestic market. For example, in the global market, Global Sukuk Indonesia has been aligned with the AAOI5, is the standard accounting and auditing standard organization, Islamic finance. So our global sukuk is already accepted by the United of Arab Emirates market. But amongst all these achievements, I think what is important is the increasing number of green investor that bought green sukuk from Indonesia, especially the increased number of domestic investor. We can see here that mostly in the domestic market, sukuk or green sukuk were bought by millennials and which the participants rate is almost half of the investor. We believe that this figure indicates that the higher of domestic people or Indonesian people, especially young generation, that aware on the environmentally theme of investment instrument. And this is a very good achievement, I think. And with regard to the objective, why I think this is also important, because like what I mentioned, that Indonesia issued two kind of bonds, conventional and Sharia. For the conventional bonds, actually the bonds, the proceeds of the bonds cannot earmark or tagging to the project, to the specific project. While for the Sharia bond, it is able to finance general activity and tagging to the project. Of course, for the green bond, green sukuk, it will be tagging to the green project. And this is the framework. We have four framework, four pillar in the green sukuk framework. The first pillar is related to the use of the proceed. 100% of the proceed has to finance the green project, both greenfield and brownfield project. And what are the green project? We have classified the 9 eligible sector in the framework. However, besides these 9 eligible sector, it's also noted that in our pillar that the sector, besides the 9 eligible sector, we also can use the proceed of the green sukuk to finance the project that contribute to what so-called blue economy or blue focus and social project, social economy project. So not only for a project that can contribute to climate change mitigation and adaptation. Those rules in the first pillar with regard to the eligible sector will be used as a criteria for the second pillar when the government do their evaluation and selection, and also budget tagging. Go to the third pillar is related to the management of the proceed. Here, the role of Minister of Finance is very big, because Minister of Finance as the issuer of the green sukuk, so Minister of Finance is the guarantor or the guarantee that the proceed will be used to finance green project. So the investor can be confident that their money will be using for the green project, because the guarantor is the Minister of Finance. And the last pillar, the fourth pillar, is related to reporting. In the reporting pillar, we are not only report with regard to in terms of number of project, increasing number of investor, but also report the measure of reduction greenhouse gas emission as the ultimate target. And okay, 5 minutes. For this I think is only the example of a project or objective that already proposed by the Line Ministry to get budget allocation from Green Sukuk. And this is the cycle process of project selection and evaluation for the Green Sukuk. First, Line Ministry will have to identify the expenditure on the project that can contribute to climate change benefit. And then the assessment will be done by Planning Minister or Planning Ministry, Bappenas. When the project can pass the assessment process, the project will be stipulated in the yearly work plan or medium-term work plan. When the project is already stipulated on the work plan, Minister of Finance and Line Ministry can do the budget tagging, allocate the budget, and then we can go to the implementation of budget. In the implementation of budget, Line Ministry and Minister of Finance will work in parallel when Line Ministry implement the work plan and execute the budget. Minister of Finance will find the source or issuing the green bond if it is necessary to get the additional amount if it is needed. And then after the implementation stage, we can come to the evaluation and reporting phase, where in this stage, Bappenas will be more focused on the indicator for emission reduction and food security index, and Ministry of Finance will be more focused on reporting the climate change emission status and resilience index. In the evaluation stage, both Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Planning will include the Ministry of Environmental and Forestry. This is only the figure that show the number of sukuk issuance up to 2022, where, as I mentioned before, that Green Sukuk reached 5 million in this year. Actually, the last two slides that I would like to share here, this is the new innovation from Indonesia. We introduced what so-called as Green Sukuk social scheme. Still Sukuk, yes, still Sharia compliance, but the investor here is more the social investor. This is why we call that the proceeds of Green Sukuk not only for the green project, but can also finance the social program or social activity. Because in this scheme, actually, this is the platform for social investment or wakaf investment. Wakaf is like a donation from the Islamic investor. They give cash. They can give a cash donation or non-cash. But here, of course, we use the cash donation, and then the return in Sukuk, we call it a discount, will be used by the Nazir. Nazir is like a fund manager of the donation, and Nazir is a legal financial institution, yeah, monitored by the central bank. This is the this just start in 2021, and we can see this is the example of social program or social activity. For example, social activity that can use the proceeds from Green Sukuk is the activity to empower poor people, empower the small medium enterprise, or the activity to provide free education for poor people. This is some of the activity that not necessarily have to be a project or an infrastructure. I think this can be the last slide of my presentation. The other is only example of a project that financed by Sukuk. So I can stop here. Thank you.